Hola! Feliz Año Nuevo, dear friends, near and far. Still from Mexico, it's Melanie with the Astro Weather for the week. As of tomorrow, January 2nd, going until January the 8th. And as you see, different background again. So, since the last few days, I've been in a new Airbnb up the hill. There's a bit of a climb, but it's so worth it. See if I can show you the view from here. Okay, so here you go. See the ocean just behind the Bugavilla. Yeah, it's beautiful and enjoying the stay here. So, what's up with the astro weather? Thankfully, more grounding, more calmness is coming in because in the last few days it's been quite turbulent actually. We had today for New Year's, we had Venus in Sag squaring Saturn in Capricorn. Not such a nice one. So, what's with that? Venus in Sag, she started on the 29th of December to go into Sag until 23rd of January. Good news in general for everybody who just was ready for uplifting spirit, especially in matters of love, attraction, speaking your truth, being more outward, share more, and have more fun. In contrast to the more contained Venus in Scorpio vibe over the last month almost. So, but at the same time, now she hit Saturn. Saturn in Pisces is all about protecting our vibes, protecting our energy field. Saturn's been in Pisces since March the 7th this year and will be still in that energy field until the Valentine's of 2026. So Saturn is typically 2.5 years in a sign, giving us lots of real life experiences, lessons, where we mature from, and hopefully become better humans and more effective in this world and in this embodiment. So, as Saturn is in Pisces now, we are being challenged in Piscean dynamics and dimensions. In other words, for example, if you're expose yourself to lots of energies, which I have in the last month, so you probably hear it a little bit in my voice. I've been dealing with some cold symptoms. My body wants to be more contained. It's also more Saturn, more self-protective, because there's lots of random energies floating around out there, and they can affect us. We take them in, and if you're sensitive, we pick a lot up, and that can turn into something really chaotic. So we need to protect that. And Saturn has been squared by Venus today. Now the energy is integrating and fading, but it's been building up, and you probably had experiences around that. So if you say, yeah, but I'm drawn to all these fiestas, I'm drawn to all the fun out there, Sagittarius, I want to do it all, I want to be ever, I want to run around, and more is better, bring it all on. Saturn could have shown you where to stop, right? I was like, no, less is more, right? And take it easy, especially when it comes to all sorts of intoxicants, which are also ruled by Pisces. So maybe I should have told you that a few days before. But actually, to put things into perspective, it always helps to have the astrological context. Then you can see, this is the message here that I'm getting. Could be simply affirming of what you're already feeling. But I find it always helpful as a context. And so also it could have created some clashes in relationships and showing you where there's actually not such good energetic compatibility, even though Sag says, yeah, but I know we want to do this. I have a story around our relationship. But Saturn says, but check in with the energy actually, right? Here and now. and do something about it, especially if you are somebody who is very available. Pisces is the energy of being very, bendy, available, flexible towards others. Saturn says, no, you gotta, um, you gotta scale back here, because otherwise you exhaust yourself, and then Saturn, you have judgments, resentment, and you feel like, nope, now I'm shutting down altogether. No, so it's about a dance, right? So being in a flow and also receiving, also lessons in receiving. Some people are such givers, they put so much out, they pour so much out, but have a hard time actually receiving from others. So that can be also a good lesson here. And also receiving help from all dimensions. Um, Prayers and asking for help to others, allowing yourself to be a bit more vulnerable, and taking something in, being on the receiving end. Then also today, Mercury, our friend Mercury, is not quite yet, in a few hours, finally going out of retrograde, where it's been since December 12th or 13th, depending where you are on planet Earth. And today is the day of the turnaround. Mercury is now in end of Sagittarius, and there it turns around and will be still in Sagittarius until January 13th, and will be still in the so-called storm, which is the stationary phase, when Mercury goes very slowly forward or backwards, right? When it's in this U-turn mode from one direction to another. So this retro to forward storm or stationary phase will extend until January 8th. So this coming week, still taking it easy with Mercury Retro, shifting gears back to normal, whatever normal is, and noticing also, having a bit of a review of these last 3 weeks. What have been the experiences mentally, like with Capricorn, when it was first in Capricorn until the 22nd of December? Where has your mind been? What have you learned, especially about traditions, ancestry, the old world? For me, the highlight was to be in Mexico City and be at the pyramids. So, and also in anthropological museum, things like that. Really, the history of humanity, and and tuning into the ancient world, and also into older worlds, like here the traditional Mexican world, and into their traditions, even though I'm not partaking, but I'm a part of this field, and I am observing and appreciating and honoring. This is, and then let's see how that influences our mind. Maybe we become more grounded, more tranquilo, and so Mercury then went back on the 22nd to Sagittarius. So in Sagittarius is more where the path is, the truth is, the movement is. So where have you moved, and have you been out and about? What has moved you, and why? What was your motivation for doing things, and how has it affected? Like for me, literally, lots of walks, lots of seeing. Sagittarius rules the legs and the thighs, as well as the eyes, because it's about the big muscles that carry us, but also about the vision on all levels. And so much to see, so much to be inspired by. Sagittarius is also about the heart, what meets you in your heart, and how has that been for you. And now Mercury is still in Sagittarius, wants to carry us forward with that, right? So how can we now be back in the normal world, so to say, and back in the communications, maybe with people where there had been a pause for some reason during Mercury Retro? How can we bring the inspiration from this Mercury Retro and the experience from it forward. And maybe we have changed. Our mentality has changed even just a bit. And how do we trace our happiness? Sag is about happiness, and with Capricorn, it's more about what makes happiness last, what is really sustaining happiness, not just something that is basically a consumption that you always need more of. So, and that's of course very apropos Christmas and holidays. Then now, what's also going on this week, besides this Mercury Retro move, is on January 4th, in 3 days, Mars moves out of Sagittarius, lots of Sagittarius energy, Venus, Mercury, and Mars at this point. But Mars makes a move into Capricorn, and that's going to be until February 12th. It's going to be Capricorn. In Capricorn is where Mars is actually the strongest, because here the energy of the warrior can be used for building, for actually getting something done. So if you have projects, especially now after the holidays, you need to get yourself into, you have plans, this is a really good time to, also after Mercury Retro, to accomplish and to tackle that with zest and passion. And yeah, early Capricorn, especially being double Capricorn, so very much of a builder energy. Then on January 6th, that's Epiphany. That is the day celebrated. Yeah, I also expect celebrations to happen here in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, wherever I am. Still in Vallarta, actually, on that day. Because it's Catholic, the day of the three wise men. So the three wise men finding baby Jesus by following the star of Bethlehem, which seems to have been historically actually an alignment of Jupiter and Saturn, not a star, but a conjunction of two major planets. And they were clearly stargazers, they were astrologers, but the church wouldn't call them like that. They'd call them wise men, they'd call them three kings. And there's a lot of symbolism also in the whole biblical story. Cryptic, right? So it's encrypted, the insiders know, and the public, general public, just takes a different, sees it from the superficial level. And so, yeah, the Epiphany is also the day when the 12 days of Christmas end. I posted, I'm not sure whether you saw it, on Facebook, on Instagram, on my blog, on the last, also in the last email newsletter, posted this article about the 12 days of Christmas and the Zodiac. So there's an alignment with the Zodiac starting from Christmas Day, so the night from Christmas Day to Boxing Day, 25th, 26th, and ending 5th to 6th of January, 12 days or 12 nights that align with the Zodiac signs. And we can also tune in how we experience these themes. Like, so it starts with Aries, Pisces goes forward and backward, and it ends with Pisces, Aries. So today, January 1st, is Libra, Virgo. Now in the new year, where we basically have shifted from having gone through half of them. Yesterday was Virgo in forward motion and Libra in backward motion. And now we're in Libra, which is a nice mirror effect, right? At the turn of the year. Now we're in Libra forward and Virgo backward. So Virgo Libra has been a theme yesterday and today. So what can come up with that? Of course, it's like a conversation this morning with another guest here in the house. It's about healthy relationships. Or also, if that's not the case, problems, issues that need to be worked on in relationships. Then also certain specifics amongst people that makes them compatible or not compatible, right? So, and it's also about being in yourself in alignment with your um, wellness, right? So whatever works well for you keeps you healthy and keeps your body, mind, spirit intact and in place, and how that gives you peace, harmony, balance, and so on. So you can tune into that, make that an intention. Tomorrow will be Scorpio and Leo. So that will be interesting too, because that is much more passionate and that's more outgoing energy. I plan to be much more out tomorrow, for example. Today I took it very easy and doing work here. And again, all of that contributes to my balance and to my own inner harmony. And also to, yeah, be at peace. Now, on January 6th, a few things. As I said, it's Epiphany. It's the last day of the 12 days of Christmas. And it's also the day when the sun in Capricorn will square Chiron in Aries. Chiron has turned direct from retrograde on the 26th of December. Don't know whether you remember, so that was big because that happened on the day of the full moon, and it was in T-square with the full moon. So maybe that full moon brought something really out that has to do with healing, with something that needs healing, or also how you can be a healing factor and be healing for others. So all of that, the energy wants to go more outward, forward, and be more expressed. Maybe in the last months since Chiron had been retrograde, that was since end of June, there has been inner lingering wounds, or also dealing with old patterns around wounds, especially with Aries early wounds in early childhood and such, right? So they are coming out for healing, and especially with that full moon that was also in Cancer, which also has to do with the inner child. Lots of healing, and the wound carries its own medicine. So the medicine comes through going deeper into the theme of the wound. Like, for example, if you have felt issues around family, children, and you and your children, or your inner child, this really calls for healing, right? And wants you to connect and be more caring, more gentle, more, more there for your inner child, right? And then the sun in Capricorn is not so attuned to that, and more like, yes, now we have new light, new energy, and the year has started. Let's get projects done, right? So Capricorn is very oriented towards productivity. Currently, actually, Capricorn is, the sun is, as of today, in the center of in the central part of Capricorn, which has a Taurus undertone. So things are not as, uh, like, can be, in a way, the early Capricorn can be really tough, right? Tough cookie. So with the Taurus energy, there can be also more purpose in doing things that we value, slowing down, enjoying life, right? And that is emphasized right now, also through the fact that Jupiter has turned direct in Taurus. Jupiter on the 30th of December has turned direct in early Taurus, which has a Capricorn undertone. So it's themes are playing out in various ways, in variations, right? That's called a mutual reception. And so emphasizing this whole theme around building and doing things for the long run that we really build on, also for aging well, and at the same time that we enjoy, and bringing more joy into our lives, because that is long term really valuable, for example, and bring more joy into other people's lives. So yeah, so that square can be a bit of health issues can come up with that, because the sun has to do with your health and vitality, and Chiron has to do also with healing. But it can be also, something can be addressed, right? Specifically from the Capricorn perspective and after Mercury retro, by you know, doing it the right way, doing it the professional way. So doing something that really works, and also, yeah, is works in the long run. It's not just a patch, right? So if something needs healing, this would be a good time. And also looking into the teachings. Chiron is always is a wounded healer and teacher. So the teachings of certain healing processes, right? Then finally, for this week, on January 8th, Mercury comes out of the post-retro storm. And as it does that, it squares Neptune once more, the third time of 3 times. And so when Mercury comes out of that, in general, the energy is much more more regulated, so to say, right? Because Mercury can operate kind of more in its rational, practical way. But in this way, in this case, it squares Neptune. And Mercury is in Sagittarius. So that can be also on a lower vibration, can be some confusion and delusion and loops and infinite, futility circles can still happen because of the Mercury-Neptune square, right? And Neptune in Pisces. But don't try to get things sort of clear-cut, and it's not just one truth, especially, right? Sagittarius is all about the truth, or one way. There's so many ways. So again, being flexible, being open to see what presents, and how the universe wants to help you navigate maybe in a smoother way. Then lastly, a little bit about the moon. So the moon is now waning. You can see the moon in the morning sky, currently in Virgo still. Then let me check when she goes into Libra, which will be on tomorrow the 2nd at 4:47 p.m. Pacific, going into Libra. We'll be in Libra on Wednesday the 3rd, Thursday the 4th, until Friday the 5th in the morning. So Moon in Libra is fantastic for anything that is art, culture, beauty oriented. I'll definitely go for another gallery walk during that time, appreciate the beauty of this town, and connections with people. It's about harmonious relationships, maybe making new relationships, and yeah, and also enhancing your own sense of harmony, beauty, peace. Then, but it's also in the waning phase, I should say, right? And we had the Saturn square Venus. So if certain relationship patterns are not good, are not really working for you, especially since the South Node is now also in Libra, maybe you are not living in balance with the other person, or it's not really compatible. So it's also a good time to release these dynamics in peace. And then the moon goes into Scorpio from the 5th on in the morning, Friday, all day Saturday, and Sunday until 1:03 p.m. Moon in Scorpio, often being sort of feared. This is like a scary emotional situation. All sorts of stuff can hit the fan, and things can come out and up that are usually under wraps. But, yep, my cough also. So, but on the other hand, it can be a very magical time, right? If you allow yourself to go more into depth and intimacy, and into the deeper dimensions of life, and also of your feelings. Sorry, once again. I have to have a little sip. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, sometimes it hits me. Okay, that'd be good. Okay, all of this is Scorpio. Yeah, this was quite something, you know. Oh, okay, hopefully everything is coming out and up. That's been happening in my system here. Anyway, I'm not re-recording it, so you see in real life what's going on for me right now. It's all good. So it's all coming through and out. And the moon in Scorpio will be on, as I said, until Sunday, early afternoon. Just more. Okay, almost ready. Okay. And Scorpio is just like this. It sometimes needs a good purge. So I'm just reenacting Scorpio here. And so, especially in this case, emotional purges. And it's also Scorpio moon waning before the new moon. Not the dark moon yet, but it's the new moon will be in Capricorn on the 11th. So the moon will be in Scorpio already going towards the dark moon. So allow things to move through you and allow a good purge to happen emotionally. And then the moon goes into Sagittarius once more. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. The moon goes into Sagittarius on Sunday, early afternoon. And that is usually always an uplifting energy when, yeah, fresh wind is really good here now. Uplifting energy. The Phoenix point is from Scorpio to Sagittarius, right? When the energy comes out of this dark, maybe contained, maybe too locked up place into more freedom. So whatever that means for you, whether it's something emotional that has been stuck, that you couldn't express, you couldn't be really fully free as you are, then the Sagittarius moon is always an upliftment, except the moon, just like Venus today, the moon will then in Sag also go into square with Saturn. And that's going to be in the evening of Sunday the 7th. So there can be also adjustments needed, right? So again, we want to be free and move about and do so many things, but Saturn in Pisces says, is this, what is the energy? Read the energy field and see what's right for you in that context. Then lastly, yes, until Sunday, Sunday the moon enters Sag and will be in Sag until the 9th, Tuesday evening. And that's already the next Astro video where I'll talk about the new moon on the 11th of January and whatever is coming up around that in that following week. So I wish you well for this journey into or through the first week of the new year. May it be an uplifting one, may it be conscious, peaceful, and joyfully abundant from within. And yeah, may you and your loved ones be blessed this coming year. And I'm super grateful for our connection and for all the work I have been able to do in online and also in service to you personally. If you'd like to actually get a session for the with an outlook for the new year, I still have my offer on. I extended it until Epiphany. So this offer is called the Tree Time offer. Comes typically every year around Christmas, solstice, Christmas, New Year's, and I just extended it. It has substantial discounts for everybody. You get 22% off if you treat yourself. You get 33% off if you treat somebody else. And you can even do a 2-for-1. Take me up on it. It's catch it as long as it's on. Afterwards, all the fees go back to normal. I wish you well, and see you, or you see me again soon from yet a different vantage point. And I show you once more here the outlook here over the ocean. Here we go. Bye.